Hello. Today I'm going to explain how you can make a decent APY on Jupiter Lend. I'm going to put 10k USDC into a juiced loop, and this will return me more than 11k in less than a year. Let me guide you through it so you actually understand the mechanism, the risk involved, and how you can do it yourself. Let's dive in. So first, what the fuck is looping? One sentence: looping is borrowing against your collateral to buy more of the same collateral, then depositing that again and repeating. So why would you do that? Because every loop multiplies your yield surface. You're not creating free money, your equity stays the same, but the position you're earning yield on gets way bigger. Same skin in the game, bigger surface area, that's the whole trick. Let me show you the actual numbers. You start with 10k USDC. First step, you swap that into JUICED. JUICED is a yield-bearing version of USDC. It's pegged to USDC by design, but earns around 5% in the background. Right now, 1 USDC gets you about 0.98 JUICED, because JUICED has already been accruing yield since it's launched. So after the swap, you've got 9,825 JUICED, worth around 10k. Now you take that JUICED and you loop it, deposit JUICED, borrow USDC, so that USDC back into JUICED, deposit again, repeat. On Jupiter Lend's JUICED USDC Multiply vault, you can loop up to 8.9 times. End state, 87k JUICED as collateral, worth around 89k, and 79k USDC as debt. Not equity, net equity is still around 10k, that doesn't change. But now you're earning yield on 89k instead of 10k, which is much better, of course. After paying the borrowing cost on the USDC debt, you know your net APY lands at around 11.61%. 11.61% on 10k just under a year. That's more than $11,150 back. Boring, sustainable, real. And to prove I'm not just talking, I'm going to do this live right now. First, stop Jupiter swap. I'm converting my 10k USDC into JUICED. You can see the rate. 1 USDC gets about 0.98 JUICED. So my 10k USDC becomes 9,825 JUICED. Now I head to the JUICED USDC Multiply vault on Jupiter Lend. At the top you see the key metrics. LTV cap is 89%, liquidation threshold 91%, liquidation penalty just 1%, which is really good. Supply APY on the JUICED side is 5%. Borrow APY on the USDC side is 7.1%, max multiplier 8.9. I deposit my 9,825 JUICED, then I drag this multiplier slider all the way to the right. Watch the after multiply panel update live. Collateral jumps to 87k JUICED, about 89k in USD. Debt fills in at 79k USDC. My equity, the 10k stays exactly where it is. That's the green bar. Health status, 88% safe. And down here, this is the part I love. The liquidation calculator says more than a year of buffer before any risk of partial liquidation at current rates. Confirm on my ledger, and the position opens. So that is my actual position right now, live, final APY ticking at 11.61%, and in less than a year, this should be sitting at more than 11k, unless rate moves, which we will get to. Now, let's talk about why this is insane. First thing everyone says when they see a loop at 8.9, bro, you're going to get liquidated. And I get it, that sounds aggressive, but that fear is based on a mental model of risk that doesn't apply here. JUICED USDC is what's called a pegged vault. Both sides are structural tied. JUICED is built to track USDC. By design, they don't diverge. So even if USDC dumps in the unlikely situation, JUICED dumps with it. If USDC pumps, JUICED pumps with it. Your collateral and your debt move together, always. Price risk, the fast killer in lending, is structural gone. And even if JUICED briefly trades a little off back on some DEX, Jupiter Lend doesn't price your collateral based on the chart. It uses the on-chain redemption rate, the actual underlying ratio, not what the DEX is quoting in the middle of a panic. You can't get liquidated on noise. And let's say the absolute worst case still happens. You do get liquidated somehow. What does it actually cost? On most lending protocols, this is brutal. Fixed chunk of your position liquidated. Steep penalty applied to your whole position. Jupiter Lend works differently. Liquidations are partial. The protocol only closes enough of your position to bring the LTV back to healthy, not a fixed percentage. And the penalty? 1%, only on the portion that gets liquidated, not your whole position. Even in the worst case, you will barely feel it. So zoom out, 10k USDC, around 11.61% APY, more than $1,100 back in less than a year. Packed fault, price risk, structural gone. Worst case liquidation, 1% of the partial amount. This isn't gambling, it's just yield with the risk profile actually understood. So now you understand the mechanism, you understand the risk, and now you can do it yourself. Good luck.